Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Well, welcome to Lagos for those of us that came out of Nigeria. My name is Aderonmu Olukayode from Internet Solutions Nigeria, and I'll be talking briefly on core internet infrastructure. Before I go into my presentation, I would like to just attest to the fact that what Rudman said is absolutely correct. My organization paired with IXPN sometimes April, May this year, and I've seen the dramatic impact it has done for us in ensuring effective quality of service delivery and even cost savings. So in the course of my presentation, I will also mention so in the course of my presentation, I think I will also touch on IXPN. And we'll try as much as possible to make it short because of our time, and so that we can have time for questions. So what's the essence of this core internet infrastructure discussion, enlightenment, and presentation? At the heart of every internet service provider lies the core internet infrastructure. And the core internet infrastructure typically has data center, housing, the other network components like routers, switches, firewalls, QS, manager, and various servers. And what are we trying to achieve? I believe the purpose of this document is to identify how the African community can improve and expand internet infrastructure to ensure low cost. IXPN comes into play there. Resilient and secure internet access while keeping the content and traffic considerably local. I'm looking at Mohammed, because we want to keep the traffic and the content local. Now, in the recently concluded AfricaCom in Cape Town, we had a small session where everybody was represented in the industry, and there was a discussion about infrastructure, core internet services in Africa, and at the end of the day, somebody raised an objection that Nigerians took the whole discussion because we have peculiar issues in Nigeria. And I believe we have a solution for it, because we have brains in Nigeria as well, in which some of us that are from Nigeria are part of the solution that we need. So that's why I'm going to make this presentation to focus on Nigeria as a case study. And in that sense, using Nigeria as a case study, there are some challenges that has been identified that I will highlight and propose a recommendation that we need to look into. These are some of the typical issues that we have that is plaguing the core internet infrastructure in this environment. Number one is power supply stability. Everybody that has spoken one way or the other have talked about generation of power. Efficiency of alternate power supply, because some of us that are high SPs have tried to find a way to help ourselves, but how efficient is the alternate power supply? There are still some issues of theft even in this generation around here, in Nigeria most especially. Security is an issue, local community issues, and internet exchange point adoption. That's another big concern, because some providers find it difficult to adopt and collaborate. I'll run through the points that I highlighted so that we can have more time for question. So power supply stability, this is a major factor driving cost of providing internet service across board. Every service provider at various levels, be it the tier 1, tier 2, invest so much in ensuring that they have 24/7 power supply. Efficiency of alternate power supply. Notable challenges of a solar system as an alternate power supply as follows. The initial cost of installation is very high, poor dimensioning of the solar system, improper positioning of the solar panels on the hanger, that is the angle of inclination, deployment of right solar controller, pulse width modulation, maximum power point tracking, and ability to configure it for the application. Theft. The theft of core internet infrastructure components, which include batteries, power generators, as big as power generators are, but we see how cases happening in this generation. Its component and solar panels and the likes. Security. Security has three characteristics, which are availability, confidentiality, and integrity, according to Bajiwai 2007. And core internet infrastructure threats can be simply classified into two major categories, both internal and external threats, which are further subdivided into what I highlighted here: the human error from internal, compromised insider, and the ones packet floods, intrusion, security vulnerability. Local community issues. This is another challenge that has affected the penetration of core internet infrastructure or having a good internet service in Nigeria as a case study. In this generation, we still have issues with local community by causing damage to fiber optic cables and not allowing you to repair it without them being tipped financially. And lastly, internet exchange point of Nigeria. So much has been said about the importance of IXP generally and localizing it to Nigeria. We need to adopt IXP in Nigeria. It has given us real life examples of the impact, and I can also say the impact has been dramatic. Customers are happy on my network, they're enjoying good service. You can, dropping the latency is key, it's part of the importance and the advantages. Now, these are my recommendations. We want to have always on internet, resilient internet, low cost internet, keeping the traffic local. I believe it's achievable, and I'm one of the persons that believe in possibilities. Most especially, I believe in Africa, I believe in Nigeria, and that is why I'm still here, because a lot of my colleagues have gone. So I wonder, some of us that are still here, we can ensure we contribute and make it work for us too. So these are recommendations that we can consider. And the list that I mentioned earlier are not exhausted. There could still be a lot of things like government taxes. Government needs to also look into that and reduce the taxes. First and foremost, various governments in African states should encourage private investment in power generation and supply. We need that to be looked into. And the issue of installing solar power, we need a lot of specialists that are well grounded and informed in making it work for us in Africa, because we have a lot of solar energy that we need to convert and make use of. Number three, for the service providers, we need to engage more in community social responsibility. The local communities needs to see us responsible, needs to see us that we cater for them, not just that we want to set up infrastructure in their domain and not employ their indigenes or not train them. Number four, concerted efforts by all and sundry to continuously orientate the masses against the theft of core infrastructure components. Our people needs to be enlightened. Our people needs to be educated. Number five, implement a standard security operating method and incident response. I could go on security, but I'll keep it short. Number six, the African community should embrace internet point exchange. So I'm an advocate for IXP in Nigeria. Finally, the target of the African technical community, which is the state of having a robust internet service that is affordable, always on for all African citizens, is a possibility. And it requires a lot of collaboration from various governments and private investors. So are we all willing to collaborate? The government representatives here, are we all willing to collaborate? Because we all need to collaborate to make it happen. Information technology professionals within the African region also have a significant role to play by ensuring they acquire the right skills. Part of the issues that has been observed in adopting IXP is BGP skill set. We need to improve on that. That's part of the challenges identified. Addressing these issues above can land us into the reality of our desire and expectation. These are my references.